Hey, what's up guys, June here. In today's video, we're going over the week of February 21st, 2022. This week finished up on plus 5.75 handles. First trade, we have a trade idea. Saw this in real time, wasn't sure about it, don't necessarily have a plan, but here we go. We don't have the full picture, but that's fine. We had a swap of this POC. In fact, this was more of a POC swap, if you will. And this is something to break, something to fall into. Normally for these expansions, I don't have the subtle swing entry type. However, in this case, there's not really anything that's a confirmed expansion, meaning there's no minor play. So that's why I'm like, maybe this is an idea after all. This went to, not sure if it went higher, but it definitely went from this local area, which would be kind of the one move, subtle swing entry type. So going forward, I'm going to pay attention to this. Perhaps since this is more of a Momo play, a momentum play, and we're at a POC and there's no confirmed swings, and it's not necessarily an expansion, it's just something to break, something to fall into. Maybe for the something to break, something to fall into, we can use this as a left side entry. So we'll see going forward. All right, next up we have a breakout trade. So what's happening here? Well, we have a range, right? And I'm just watching this. You don't want to say, you don't want to sell down here, you don't want to buy up here, you want to be much closer to the bottom. Now what ended up happening is we did a double breakout. Now the problem with this idea or doing breakout is that it's not necessarily proportional to the range. However, I did play it, I did take the trade. I was looking for it to bounce and continue. However, it did a double breakout, so I decided that was good enough. And in fact, it went to target pretty comfortably. Indeed, it actually expanded about double the range. I think a bit more than double the range of this guy. I did mark down that, look, this could be a serious runner. However, I just wanted to take profits. Nice, simple. Management was good. So overall, can't complain. Took profits, that's it, that's all. And this was a graceful exit, a bit late, because I saw this bar I could do halfway, or even this bar here I could take the exit, but I held my stop pretty tight. So overall, I think it was fine. So that was a plus 4.35 trade. That twice? I guess I do. All right, so this is similar to the M2K, except I decided to go long. Now, why did I decide to go long? Well, simply because it looked like this was a wash. However, here is, that's the problem, right? There's kind of already some poking out. So I'm not too sure what to say about this idea. I was trading how I saw it, and for me this was a POC wash. Other things to take note: this did not zoom the last swing. So this was the last swing. Last swing broke. Did it zoom it? No. So proportionally, if we're looking for these small breakouts, we would have to look for a double breakout. So perhaps that's the problem with this trade. Now, I said the idea was fine because to me this was a breakout, or this was a breakout and it washed it. So for me, this was fine. With that said, in retrospect, perhaps this had to clear a bit more if this wanted to be a nice confirmed wash, or a double breakout, which is another type of entry type for points where we're looking to flip, but doesn't quite flip it that much. So if not a double breakout. And could I have taken the short? Now that's the other question. Maybe, seeing how this was a good amount of movement. I'm not sure. I'd say the convenient short is right here, because at this point, is it a wash? Because if we're shorting at this point here, this could still be double breakout territory. I think both are acceptable. So I take this as the short because I'm Well, 1, 2. Yeah, maybe. You know, we're looking to watch this kind of expand it out. This was the last swing broke. Look, this is a press up. Nope. Short, stop up here. If I get stopped out, then double breakout, go for the long. Maybe over here, by then it's either a good secondary entry if you missed the original, but don't expect that one. So maybe the short's there. So this is a little bit more complicated. Interesting though. So this would be looking at the press, or because this is a much bigger time frame range, right? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to look at this in real time. Another thing to note is there was a fresh amount of buying right here. Something significant happened here because look, we were going down like this. We expanded a bit, tried to do the expansion swing. Of course it fails, and then keeps going down. Maybe since this is the line in the sand, we could say that this guy moved up. So the natural buyers rather, they've jumped up. So I think that could be the idea behind this. Instead of paying attention too much to the absolute bottom because there was some early buying. Interesting. All right, next one. We have another, this is a no-fill, which is a shame. I believe this continued. So essentially we have a breakout range apparently, and zoom, comes back. All right, we're kind of looking, is it going to be a wash? Is it going to be a failed breakout, double breakout? What are we looking for? Well, in this case, where did the market pick up? Everything here tells me, oh, no, we're still going up. So it's hard to find a level. Therefore, I'm a bit more cautious looking for right side entries, not considering the wash, because this was a quite nice V. However, it didn't knock out anything, and everybody here contributed to this move up, seemingly. Maybe this guy really pressed it up. But what did happen? It came back to it. Comes. This is a different type of OLB, or one line balance, where we're using the last swing broke with a confirmed swing. So it's not necessarily two confirmed swings in a downtrend already. It's using the LSB plus one confirmed trend. So this is why I'm marking these one line balances in brown instead of green. Over here, 1-2 wave pullback. This area kind of confirmed it. So, you know, bounce, looking. I'm looking to go long right here with a stop, a generous stop. However, I did the orange instead. Or I want to get a better price on it. The question is, could I go behind this guy? To me, no. Because look, bounced, and all this is part of it. So that's why I wanted to stop around here. It's a little high. Anyways, this was a no-fill, nothing you can do. I just want a better price. Of course, it did the orange swing, which is only natural, but you have to be mindful of the stop and entry. Okay, so over here we have a downflow. So this was the breakout for the MES, right? That I tried to go long, completely said no. And this is kind of the general area. The first one I'm thinking, okay, is this Apostle Paul or even this one? I thought seemed like it was this one. Came up, knocked me out, or came, knocked out this one, came, boom, and we flipped it. So at this point here, I'm thinking longs. You can maybe say it's a little high up, but for me, it's good enough. And what happened? Well, we were following this swing, following it out of it, not really looking to go long right away, comes back. Could say that this is a possible second time, or this is a possible entry for the expansion idea if you're front running it. But for me, I don't like front running expansions per se, unless it's something to break someone fall into. And right about here, I think I was looking for the entry coming back from this point on, kind of one, kind of two waves ish. This would be kind of a potential kill zone, waiting. I'm like, I don't have a good stop. So I'll wait for the right side entry. This comes back into this potential kill zone, so you didn't really violate it all too much. Still within the margin. Boom, bam, bam, swap, comes back in, entry right there, stop. Well, this is the line in the sand. So for me, if it doesn't go from here, then it's something else. I tried and failed. Okay, fair enough. And I decided to take this short. So this is where, again, this guy could come into play. Is it a wash of the POC or is it something else? So what did I decide? Well, this kind of poked out. Did it slam it? Maybe not, eh? So what started the move out of this? Well, this wouldn't be more of a wash. This would be a failed breakout idea. So maybe we really have to break this one because this kind of started. This is where the breakout really commenced. This one, okay, poke. All right, boom. Maybe a right side entry is better. The problem is the stop has to be behind up here. So no matter what, even if I'm interested in the idea, well, maybe up here is better. And for that reason, I said, okay, well, what if I was right the first time? It's just the timing was off. So I considered it a tad differently. I decided to consider it as more of a horizontal idea and decided to go long. And that's exactly what played out. So in this case, what's happening? Well, we have the gap. So the area where the breakout occurred comes back, bounces. You gotta be a lot looser. And if we're if we're using the idea of a breakout, by the time it's in here, well, breakout of the range comes back. That's a wash of the range, is it not? So that would invalidate this type of entry, regardless of the stop. And this gives credence to the long idea, or the second time's the charm. And that's exactly what played out. Comes here. Once it reached up here, I decided, okay, well, in this expansion, we're currently trying to do the orange swings out of it. So once it achieves relative to the orange, I can reduce stop locally to the orange swing. At this point here, it kept going up, and we're 3-1. So I'm looking to reduce risk already. And by measuring the orange swing, we see it kind of lands up here. So putting it behind here, which is nice because this is kind of where it commenced the breakout, or this really small breakout, and decided pivot and well, continue, went to target, except I took the graceful exit simply because I was already in the zone. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a good stop management too. I would have got stopped out, so good thing I had the graceful. By the time it makes this new high, my stop's already up here. Why? Well, because it's already well into profit. This continues going forward. I believe it goes all the way up to here. But the point is, here's the overall flow. I think it was an excellent trade, and goes to show, you know, you take one loss, 2 losers, 3 losers, you can still go. Now, the problem with that idea of taking multiple losers in a row, or allowing for that, is that they have to be good losers. This was a good loser. This was, in retrospect, a bad loser, but you know, I took it because for me, I was mapping out the market the way I was mapping it out. So to me, it was a fine idea. Now, frame like this, it looks terrible. So there you go. Decide to take this entry, goes long. If you're having a few bad trades in a row, that's where things can get dangerous. Right, so this is how it was looking. So continue going up. Very interesting. Over here we have the M and Q. So this was a no fill, unfortunately. We had a breakout range, right? We popped out of this guy, double the range, looking one swing. Okay, is this a possible wash? However, we'll have to break this guy, which is pretty low. So this could even come all the way back down here. Although I'm not enthusiastic about going long all the way here, but anyways, this would have to be flipped in order to take, let's say, the short back down to the bottom. Seeing how this is an uptrend, I'm not looking to expand. I'm just looking to trade back to the bottom. However, in that scenario, I don't think the risk reward would be very good. So there you go. I'm looking to go long, no fill, went to target. So such is life. This one was interesting. So this is the NQ as well. We're kind of breaking out. Comes back here. The problem is the stops, they're big. And to me, this is not enough noise. I would like it to be more like around 130. However, my max stop was 125 or 124. So there you go. What would this be? Well, this was a giant breakout range. I think this was even a POC breakout range. Comes back. All right, fine. Boom. This would be a double breakout, right? Boom, boom. Comes back. Comes here. So this is another good example of, the expansion, something to break. So we have a base rate here, right? I'll draw it out. We have a base rate here with not necessarily any confirmed swings. Let's go now. Yeah, there we go. Without any confirmed swings. I mean, we could have 1, 2, but it's one move. Comes out. This is one move back down to here. So for something to break, something to fall into without any swings in between, I think we can start doing this. So going forward, I'll say something to break, something to fall into with swings, with no swings, with no swings, one move, subtle entries are valid. So going forward, we will introduce that because it seemed like it happened twice. The other time it happened was right here, right? This is one move, some break, some fall into. Of course, I could left side entry it. However, the problem is the stop is way too big. So boom. So interesting. Okay, so that's it for this week, guys. Not too many trades. However, the RBR is decent enough. And that will be it for this week. Till next time, guys. Adios.